Also, the CDC may have come out with new COVID isolation and quarantine guidelines, cutting the time in half that you need to stay away from others. But the state health department is not yet on board with that. Our Mara McDonald live in Corktown as the state releases its guidance tonight. Mara?
Jace, that's right. We're in a situation where the state says it needs to see more data and it wants to review the decision-making process the CDC used before it's going to get on board, and it is recommending tonight for everybody in Michigan to still adopt its more stringent guidelines. Let me show you. On a day when the entire state of Michigan is under massive community spread from COVID, disagreement between federal and state health officials on exactly what you should do.
It really had a lot to do with what we thought people would be able to tolerate. If we can get them to isolate, we do want to make sure that they're isolating in those first 5 days when they're maximally infectious.
Per the new CDC guidance, if you test positive for COVID, you can leave isolation after 5 days if symptoms are gone or better, as long as you wear a mask for 5 more days. Now, if you're exposed but not positive and you're vaccinated and boosted, the CDC now says you can remain out and about as long as you're masked. If you're not vaxxed, you can go out after 5 days as long as you're masked.
There is the danger that there will be so many people who are being isolated, who are asymptomatic for the full 10 days, that you could have a major negative impact on our ability to keep society running.
Tonight, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says it needs to review the CDC's updated guidance and see some data. And until that happens, they want us to stick to the state's original guidelines, which is 10 days in isolation. Back here live, the key word in all of this is guidance. This is guidance from the CDC. It's guidance from the state that school districts and counties use to make their own decisions. It is guidance. It is not binding, which means that essentially anybody in the state can decide whose guidance to follow at this point. We're live in Corktown. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
And
Jason,
we know they most
back to you.
certainly will. Yes, Mara, apologize there. Thanks, Mara.